Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and an absolutely intriguing email that I'm dealing with today from somebody called Dawned or Dawned, who has constructed a puzzle together with a friend called Speff. And as I understand it, they worked on the puzzle together and then branched off towards the end and both came up with a good finish. And they don't know which one to send us. Anyway, I'm going to be trying this version called Brown Bear. And if this finishes okay, we might have a look at the other version. I honestly don't know what to expect here. This is a very strange situation, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. And I will certainly try and bring you the other version as well. So, well, we'll see. Let's get into that in a moment. Don't forget that on Patreon, coming up on February the 1st, we have quite approachable Sudoku, a sort of Sudoku hunt constructed around our apps, and I very confidently predict that you will enjoy that. There will be a prize as usual. This will be one of the easier of recent months. Not absolutely easy, but quite approachable, and that's a promise. So do think about joining Patreon if you haven't already. Thank you to the thousands who have. That's really kind of you, and we appreciate it considerably. We also appreciate anybody who is watching our videos at all, but you can also tool yourself up with some merchandise from Cracking the Cryptic. It says bobbins on the back of this mug, for instance. There's various garments as well. I'm going to be wearing my beanie later, which says bobbins on it too. And there are all our apps and links to the Discord server and Patreon, all in the links under the video, and Sven's Sudoku Pad. But the first link under the video is to this puzzle. There may be a second link to another puzzle. Let's see how that works out. I don't really know whether it's a different puzzle or just a different last step. I don't quite know, but we will see. Do give this a try. The video length for once may not be a guide to how easy this puzzle is, but it may be. But feel free to give it a try. I hear it's not one of the, well, it's not going to be like yesterday's, which took me an hour. That's what I hear. You never know. I mean, this is an unknown game, but we'll see. Anyway, the rules of this puzzle are that normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 in every row, column and box. Digits along a thermometer must strictly increase as they move away from the bulb. So that's smaller than that, which is smaller than that, smaller than that, smaller than that, and that one's smaller than that. So that's how the thermometers work. Now we also have some marked diagonals, and these are sometimes called little killer clues. This set of 4 cells has to add up to 22 because that's the given total, but it can include repeated digits. It doesn't have to be 4 different digits necessarily. So this 34 will be those 5 digits. I think that will have to include, no, not necessarily. It won't have to include repeats, but they can. It's perfectly allowable as long as it obeys normal Sudoku rules, which do apply throughout. So those are the rules. Do give it a try. I'm going to start now on Brown Bear by Dawned and Speff. Well, the 7 little killer clue has to be made up of 1, 2, 4. We know they're different digits because they're all in the same box. So that is definitely the case. 34 is not big enough. I mean, just those 4 cells could add up to 34 if they were a pair of 9-8 pairs, and that wouldn't even allow for this. So although clearly they're going to be quite big numbers in this diagonal, I don't think we can really do much about that. 22, no. 12 has 3 possible fills in either of 2 possible ways, so 6. 15 is a very average number, and even 22 is quite average. So I don't think the little killers are doing much after that 7. So I am going to pencil mark these 6-digit thermos. Now, this is something I like to do and Simon doesn't. If you are not a regular follower of the channel, you may not be aware that Simon kind of dismisses what I call a technique as just good-looking thermos. I like to fill in all the possible digits on longer thermos so I can get a sense of whether we've got any triples and doubles and that sort of thing. It just makes it easier for me to see. So I'm also doing these 5-cell thermos. I think the 3-cell thermo is too small even for me to pencil mark. Oh, but yes, okay, well, this is really useful straight away. I can see that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sextuple. All those 6 cells have to contain numbers from 1 to 6. Now, what Simon would have done, and he would have done this, he's very good at this, and I'm not, is he would have just studied this grid and gone, oh well, these are the only 3 cells in this row that can be the 3 high numbers, because on these thermos they all have 3 higher cells at least. Some of them have 4, and therefore none of these could be 7, 8 or 9, so it's a triple in there, and it just filled that in. But it is not how I work, I'm afraid. So I need to kind of see that these exist. Now I can see that one of those is a 6, because in this row there must be a 6 somewhere, and these are the only 2 cells with it as a candidate. And whichever one is a 6 is going to lead up to a 9 on the end of its thermo for definite, because you have to increase. So one of these is definitely a 9, one of these is an 8, one of these is a 7. That doesn't let me change any pencil marks. Okay, but another thing that is very useful in thermos is a technique, or avoiding something that I call stacking. Now, if this was a 7, this is a very clear example of stacking, actually, very useful, instructive specimen. If that was a 7, you'd get an 8 here and a 9 here, just by force of the thermo. And if you had 7, 8, 9 in those 3 cells, what could you possibly put in this? None of them. So that's impossible, and that means this cannot be a 7. And once that can't be a 7, I mean, the same is applying over this side to that cell. Once these can't be 7s, these can't be 6s, because they have to be smaller than what is now maximally 6. So they can't be 6s, these can't be 5s, these can't be 4s. And we've had an impact along the early lengths of those thermos. Oh, I thought that was going to isolate where 5 went, but it doesn't, because whilst 5 could be in one of these cells, we know 6 is in one of those cells, but 5 could be in the other if one of these thermos goes 5, 6, 7, 8, and the other goes 6, 7, 8, 9. But 5 could also be on a bulb, on the bulb where the 6 is in the kind of knuckle of the thermo. So, oh right, sorry, I've missed this. I've got another sextuple in this middle box. This is probably actually a more obvious one. Again, Simon or other people who solve these without having to fully pencil mark the thermos would just have looked in this central box and gone, where can 1, 2 and 3 go? They can't go in on these thermos because they've all got 3 smaller digits on them. So 1, 2, 3 is a triple sitting up the middle column. And okay, that's quite interesting for these 2 cells. They now can't be 1, 2 or 3 because they're in the middle column. They can't be 7, 8 or 9 because they're in a triple in box 2 as well. So these must come from 4, 5 and 6, which is odd. I don't think it does anything conclusive, although this can't be from 1, 2, 3 either. It can still be any of 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8, so not that useful. Oh, that's quite interesting though. Where are 1 and 2 going to go in box 2? That's really pretty. Right, and the answer to that is, well, obviously not in these cells we've pencil marked, which don't contain any of 1 or 2. Now that leaves 3 cells which could contain 1 and 2 in the box, and 2 of them must. But the 2 that must will not be both up here, because these 2 cells are using certain numbers from 1, 2 and 3. So if those contained 1 and 2, you'd have to fill both of these with a 3, which is That way madness lies. So we can't do that. So one of 1 and 2 appears up here, but the other one appears here. And that is a 1 or 2. These are very nearly, oh no, this one is very nearly well, it's a set of 6 cells with only 7 possible candidate numbers. Nothing's happened on the little killers. They're really looking a little unprepossessing at the moment. Aha. There's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quad in row 3. Quintuple, not a quad, a quintuple. Those 5 cells are all selected from the candidates 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 only. So the other cells in the row are from 1, 2, 8 and 9. Now again, could that be a 1-2 pair? Then you'd definitely get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It does work. Okay. These are different because one of these cheats into box 2 and the other one doesn't. It skirts around it. Now that matters. That matters a lot. This is big. This is big. Where does this cell appear in this box? Remember, it's the number 1, 2 or 3. It obviously can't appear in those cells. But also, it's on the same thermo as this cell. So it can't possibly appear here in the box because we've got to increase by at least 2 from there. So that number appears there. Let's just make them the same color. And here it's not a 3, it's a 1 or a 2. So it must be the same here. Yes, I mean, I suppose all I'm observing there is, I was going to say that this can't be a 3. It can't be a 3 at the same time as that. That's the fatuous point. We've got a sort of virtual triple between 1, 2 and 3 in this row. Oh, and of course. Oh, this is sorry, I did see this and I'd forgotten it. This is why it's huge. The other one of 1 and 2 is in one of these cells. The other one for box 2. We've got one of them there, but the other one is in one of those cells. And that is forming a virtual pair with that cell in row 1. And this has to be a 3. That's really neat, yes. One of these has to be 1 or 2 because it can't be in any of those cells. We've got 1 there. One of those is 1 or 2. That's a 1 or 2. This is a 3. And that is going to allow us to go 3, 4, 5 along that thermo. The 3 in this box is now fixed. It's got to be there. And that gets us 3, 2, 1 up to the bulb. This has to be 6. This can't be 6. None of these can be 6. In fact, simply, where do 4 and 5 go in box 5 now? They have to go on this thermo because they've been shut out of this thermo by appearing here. And now we've got, well, we've suddenly got 9 digits placed in the puzzle from a moment ago having none. This had to be the same as that. That's why we've coloured them. So it's a 1, a 10th digit. There's a 2 somewhere up here. That 2 that, oh, why did I write 3 when I said 2? There we go. 2's up there. 2's also here. So the 2 in row 3 is there. In fact, these now can't contain 2 or... Oh, this sees 3, 4, 5 and 2 in its box. So it's a 1. So that's not 1 or 2. This now can't be 2 or 3. Both of them can't be 4. That can't be 1 or 2. Oh, loads is going on now in this puzzle. That couldn't be 2. So that we take 3 or 4 or 5 off the ends. Oh, well, this has got huge. If that's 5 or 6, this is 6 or 7. That's 7 or 8. That's 8 or 9. No, this can't be a 3 or a 5. Oh, this is decided as well. Oh, this box is massive. Right, 5, 3. Now we get the 6 on the knuckle. Here it is. So that leads up 7, 8, 9. This 5 can't go up to 9, so it must go up to 8. And those two bent thermos, these side thermos, are done. This can't be an 8 anymore, so it's a 7. We're left with an 8, 9 pair in the central box. This can't be 1 or 2. This we must know, it's a 4. Now the 7, 8, 9, that one can't be a 7, so we've got an 8, 9 pair. Oh, we can do these two, that's 9 and 8. Oh, and that forms a sort of X-wing. 9 and 8 have been used up by column 8 and 9 in those boxes, so they must be down here in column 7. That can't be a 4. In fact, that can't be a 4 because this has to be. We know this 1, 2, 4 triple from the little killer clue, and we've got a 1, 2 pointing at it now. So now we are making big progress. There's a 6, 7 pair there, 3, 5 in that column. Those are from 1, 2, 4. This is a 3, 5 pair. They're not resolved yet. That is 1 or 2 because it can't be 6 or 7, and obviously not 3, 4 or 5, and it sees an 8, 9 pair. That gives us a 1, 2 pair, and that lets us place 6 and 7 over here. 7, 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 9. Right, this is a 7, 4 pair. They can be written in. Oh, in fact, 8 and 9 have been resolved since we got to the end of the thermo. Wow, so this is a 2, 5, 6 triple. And I don't quite know which way they work yet. We sometimes call that a triple as useless as a chocolate teapot because it can't be resolved. This is 1, 2, or 3 because it sees all the other digits now. The little killer clues. 5, maximum 5, 10, 19. The least this can be is 3. 3, 6, 8, 14, oh. The most it can be is 8. Well, that's quite a range still. The 34, that can't be more than a 4. 9, 13, 22. These have to add to at least 12, but that's not all that helpful. This 12 thing can't have a 7 in it. So it's either, oh, it can't be 9, 3 either because of that 9, 3 pair. Right, so this is resolved. This is an 8, 4 pair that way round. That doesn't look across here usefully. It does give us a 4 in box 8 because once there are 4 4s looking into a box, there's only going to be one place remaining. Now, this on the bulb is 2, 3, or 5. Can't be 8 or 9 because of the thermo. It's not that helpful, actually. I think that has... okay. Yes, 9 in this row. That's the simpler way of looking at this. 9 has to be there. And then 9's in one of these cells. Now, can it be on the 15 diagonal? It would have to be 195. But I think that is still available. The 22 diagonal. Look, we've got a 4 on it. Yes. So the maximum this can be now is 23. 5 plus 5 plus 9 plus 4 is 23. Well, we have to take 1 off one of those. Well, we can't take 1 off the 5 because 4 is not available there. Same again here. So we must take 1 off this 9 and make it 8. And there we go. That diagonal is done. Now, let's mark up this one. Ooh, this one is down to... yes, it can't be 8 or 9 because they're a pair in this column. That is 2, 3, or 5. Now, maximum down here, 9, 13, 22, 27. The minimum this can be now is a 7. So it's either 7 or 9. And from the possible maxima here, 9, 4, 5, 9, 5, 9, 4, 9, 5, 9, adds up to 36. We have to remove 2. So we can't have numbers that are 3 below the maximum. So that can't be 2. This can't be 1. That hasn't quite fixed anything. Now we've got this 12. Can this still be 195? In fact, that's not a 9. There is a 9 here, and it is 195. There we go. That's a 3. That's been a 3 for a few moments. One of these is a 9. 1954. 8 has to be on this thermo. And we've had 9 in the row, so 8's at the tip. So we get 9, 8 there. That's a 9. In fact, that 7, 8, 9 triple that we began with is done. These are from 1, 2, and 6. 2, 3, 8, 4. This is 6 or 7. Okay. That can't be a 5 anymore. There's probably something clear going on here. I might need this 22 diagonal, which is the last. Let's pencil mark it. That's what I do. That's what I'm all about. 2 or 6 there. 2 or 3 only there. 3, 6 or 7. And we've got 1, 2 or 6. So maxima 6, 9, 16, 22. Perfect. That was the right thing to do. This has now got to be maximum all the way to 6, 3, 7, 6 is 22. And that should finish off the puzzle, I would have thought. We get a 2 there. This is a 1, 5, 3. That sorts out 2 and 1. We can do 7 and 6. We've got a 2 over there and a 6. We finished the bottom 3 rows. That's a 3, 4 pair, which are still to resolve. Oh, I haven't done this 34. 3 9s is 27, plus 3 is 30, plus a 4. All right, that does fix the 3, 4 pair, as I thought. We've got a 1, 2 pair that aren't resolved in the row. This can't be a 3, so we've got a 1, 2 pair. That's a 5, isn't it? That makes this a 3. That's been available for a while. Now there's just sort of 1, 2 pairs in the middle 3 rows. This chocolate teapot set's all resolved. That's not like that. This should be a 6. That's a 5. Oh, how are these 1s and 2s going to be done when... Oh, it's not a deadly pattern because we've got these columns. Right, 2, 1. Whew! I was just observing that none of them were on the little killer clues. So there we go. That is the solution to Brown Bear. Now, I will be back in a second when I've found out... I don't know exactly. Dawn was saying that there's a certain degree to which you can get in the puzzle before you have to use the other version of the finish. Now, I mean, he may be right, or they may be right, and I don't really know, but sometimes people solve puzzles in different orders, so we'll see if that applies. So hang on 1 second and we'll have a look at the other puzzle. Right, so this is the other puzzle, and it's just got thermos in it, but we should be fairly familiar with some of these thermos. And I think what Dornard was suggesting was we should start from the point we got to, but, well, I don't want to do it that way. Let's just try and be really quick about getting... I think this is... He's absolutely right. The beginning bits of logic are all around these thermos, and they should be the same. So we now know that there's a 7, 8, 9 in these 3 cells, and a 1, 2, 3 in those. That's just the shape of these thermos gives that away. Then we worked out that that cell is the same as this, being a 1 or 2. And I think that's still solid, given that these two had to be 1, 2, or 3 originally. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 can't sit in any of those. One of 1 or 2 can be here, but not both of them because of the bulbs. So that is one of them. And this can't be the same as that. So it is the same as that. So that is genuinely still the same. and the 1, 2 virtual pair amongst here makes that a 3. I like doing puzzles like this because it's a lot quicker than having to work them all out. But this is how we should do more. No, I'm joking. Now, that became a 1, didn't it? Because why was that? There was a reason. This was, 4 and 5 had to be there. Then 6, 7, 8. Oh yes, this was all 3, 2, 1. Yes. So we've got 2, 4, 3, and 5 all looking at that cell. So it does become a 1. This now has to be 5 and 6. The 3's over here. No, not 3. Hang on, slow down. Maybe it's not 5 and 6. 3 was over here because of that 3. So that's 5 and 6. So it's that thermo that goes up to 9. I'm still doing something wrong because I've got a 3 there. Oh, good grief. Well, I'm very poor at remembering then how to solve puzzles. That's not shocking. That's 2 or 3. No, it is 1, 2, 3. I'm sure that's right on the start of this one. I don't think this pattern's any different. So let me just take this slower. 1, 6 go there. 3, 5 go here. That looks like it works. Right, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8. And all this logic is exactly the same as we had before. We haven't got, I mean, I never put in the 1, 2, 4 on the little killer. I don't honestly know if we're working towards exactly the same grid finish. I guess we will find that out if we go back and compare, which I might not do. But, right, 9 there. Then 2, 8 are a pair here. What have we got? 9, 4, and 8 to go in here. How is this going to work? How is it going to be different? This is interesting, actually. 7, 8, 9, 3. There is a 2 in one of those cells. Oh, actually, yes, there is a 2 in one of those cells, which sorts out the 8, 2 pair there. This was a 1 because of the colouring. 4, 8, and 9. That has to be 4 because of the triple. We can put in 8 and 9. Box 1 is done. I don't think we've approached these other clues yet, which is quite interesting. 2, 5, 6 triple there. Now we have to branch off and see if this is a better puzzle or not than the first. And I have no idea what we're going to find there, so let's pencil mark properly. Right. 1, 2, 8. So this can't be. It's 1, 2, or 6. It sees 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. It can't be 7 because of the length of the thermo. Oh, and it can't be 6 actually, because this would have to be a 7, and that's impossible. So we get a 1 or a 2 there. We can place 7 in the row. Just seen that. 9 in row 4, and that was placeable in the other version. That is also 1 or 2 by Sudoku. It sees all the other digits, so we get a pair. This is where 6 goes in the box. 4's in one of those, 5's in one of those, and 3 is somewhere. Now, 1, 2, 6 pairs. So this is 7, 8, 9 as a triple. This now can't be any of those or 6. Oh, and the bulb can't be 1 or 2. So 5 or 4 there, 4 or 3 there. Now we've got a triple, so we can do a 1, 2 pair around it. 8, 1, 2, 9, 7. These are from 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's a quadruple that is no use. There's a pair here, the 8, 9 pair. So these are from 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 are gone here. So these are from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that can't be a 9. This is also higher than that one. Not a very helpful thermo. We need a 1 in one of those cells. That's not interesting. Right, let's look at box 4. 7, 9, 8. That is 1, 2, or 3. That is 3 or 4, though, by virtue of everything else it sees. So That gives us a 3-4 pair, which reduces the options in the other cells. Now this can't be 8 or 9. Oh, that's... But this can't be... Right, look, this is 7, 6, 5 or 4 or 3 actually. Now that's not the interesting one. The interesting one is here. This has to be less than 7, but it can't be 7, 6, 5 or 4. So 3 or 2 there, 1 or 2 there. And pencil marking, again, quite helpful here. Now, have I got anything going across the rows? Not really. Ooh, if I knew that wasn't a 6, and it's unlikely to be a 6. Oh, this can't... No, hang on, 9, 8. No, I'm reading too much into these thermos. This is a little tougher, perhaps, although maybe I'm just not remembering how hard the other puzzle was. 1, 2, 8, 9. These are from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that one can't be a 7. Right, how do we keep going on this? This one is 1, 2 or 3 by virtue of everything it sees. That's part of a triple, so we can take 3 out of those cells. And we've got 4, 5 and 6 to put in. 7, 9, 4, 6, 8, 3. That's 1, 2 or 5. Not quite seeing how to keep going here. Maybe there is some... Oh, look, there's a 1, 2 pair that we've just created. So that can't be a 2. Ah. No, not quite. 7, 3, 9, 8. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that's a 1, 2, 3 triple. So we have 8, 9 around that, just as we had a 1, 2 pair over there, a certain degree of symmetry. 7 has to be in one of these cells, and no, I was going to say and 3, that's not true. Oh, this is a bit trickier actually. Maybe we need to colour 1s and 2s. No, but we don't quite know where 1s and 2s are in this box. 8, 9 are down there. Have we got a 6, 7, 8? What about along the bottom? I'm wondering about where 1s and 2s go along the bottom. There are only 3 possible cells in the row. There are also only 2 places 1 can go in row 8. 2 places in row 7 and 2 places in row 9. Ah. But that's just for 1, not for 2, which can also be in other places. Okay, that is not resolving everything, sorry. This is getting a little trickier. Let me... Or am I missing something in this puzzle? Done the 1, 2 pairs. Now across here we had a 1, 2, 3, 5 quad. Don't think that's readily resolved. Oh, 4, 5 pair in the column. Good grief. 3, I'm just blind then, sorry. 3, 5, 4. That becomes a 4. That's not a 4. That's not a 4. That's a 5, 6 pair. So that's 1 or 2. We get the 3 here. That's not a 3. So we've got lots of 1, 2 pairs in the center. 1, 2 pair there. Now that is helpful. These are from 4, 5, 6 in the column. But now where does 1 go in the bottom row? And then where does 2 go? They are resolved thanks to extensive pencil marking, which frankly, as always, I find quite helpful. So that 2 has fixed the triple at the top. They're all done. There's an 8, 9 pair, so these can't have a 5 in now. These can't have a 6 in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Not sure about that. Hasn't changed everything. 1 in row 8 is there. 2 in row 8 is there now. And that's fixing all the 1, 2 pairs across the middle. Oh, no, look, they sort of remind me of that pattern. Oh no, they're not quite the same. I think we've got a different grid here. I'm not 100% sure about that. So this 5, 6 pair are not resolved. There is a 4 in one of those cells, so there isn't here. There's also, I don't know, 3 and 7 definitely are in those. Oh, come on, this must be finished now. 3, 4, 5, 6 quadruple. Well, okay, that's handy. That makes that a 7, and that an 8, and that a 9. The other way of doing that would have been to find the 7, 8, 9 triple. That 8 can come out of all of those cells. This is a 7, 8 pair. Are the thermos doing? Yes, the thermos are doing work. This has become a 9 on the tip of the thermo. That's going to sort out the 8, 9, 7 triple where we started. This is a 6 to finish the column. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So now 9 and 8. Yes, 8 and 9 are done there. We must be able to place 8 over here. That gives us 7. That gives us 7 in the middle, which gives us 5. That means they don't have a 5. That's not, this has become a 5 because of the column. So that does place 5 in box 7. Then we've finished the top 6 rows. This becomes a 3. That makes 4 on the bulb. Now all the thermos are done. And these must resolve. They don't need the thermo. 3, 6, 3, 4. And 2 more cells, 4 and 6. So, what do you think? Is the grizzly bear, as it's called, better than the brown bear? It's a very hard one to call in terms of the solve. As Dawn suggests, they both solve very elegantly, I think. On balance, I would always give the marks to the puzzle which has the fewer rules, because it's a kind of neater setup to only need thermo Sudoku and not little killer Sudoku. So there we go. That's my decision. I've called it. I say the grizzly bear beats the brown bear. And if you're a Dwight Schrute fan, you know that bear beats. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And do feel free to comment on which puzzle you think was better, because I think that's quite an interesting idea here. And pleased to have solved 2 puzzles in one video. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.